What's up, guys? Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mali, and today I wanted to do a reading vlog. I love to read. I'm a huge reader, and since I'm done with university and I'm done with classes and I have a lot more free time, I'm being such in a reading mood, and I've been finishing books like crazy. So I really wanted to just talk about the books with you guys. I went to the beach with my boyfriend, and I love reading at the beach, so of course I bought my Kindle. Reading The Guest by Emma Cline. This is her newest release. You guys already probably know her from The Girls. I'll put a little picture of what the book cover looks like. The Guest by Emma Cline. It's basically about this girl who she meets this man called Simon, and she goes with him in Long Island, I think it was, and she spends a month with him out there, but she does something that ruins their relationship, and she is sent back to the city. Instead of going back to the city like, you know, any normal person would do, she actually stays in Long Island and drifts from men to men and manipulates them in a way so that it can like give her shelter, give her food. And so she drifts for like a week in Long Island because she has a plan of going back to Simon during his Labor Day party. I liked it to some degree, but the ending was awful. Like, it did not resolve any of the problems that Alex, our protagonist, had. I will try to explain a little more about the book without spoilers, but the city means trouble and someone is after her from the city. And so there was this conflict if like the guy was gonna find her or not. Like, what was the thing that she did to get this guy pissed off? And when we find what it was or what happened, it's not resolved at all. Don't like open endings, and this is exactly what it was. It really sucks because I was liking it to some extent, but now I'm struggling between a 2 stars and a 3. Okay, I'm back because I have a bone to pick with this book actually. At one point, Alex was also staying with this boy that she met. Emma Cline describes the boy as really a boy. Like, he looks like a baby. He has braces, and it's not until later that Alex finds out that the guy she's staying with is actually only 17 and not 19 like he had told her or she had thought. But she hooks up with this guy multiple times, leads him on, manipulates him into having sex with her, and that brought me so wrong as well. It just missed the mark. Emma Cline set up something so high stakes with the plot. Like, it was at its climax, it was at its peak, it was so tense, and I was literally like, oh my god, what is gonna happen? How's she gonna get out of this fucking mess? And Emma Cline just ends the novel, not answering anything and not addressing none of the plot points that she had set up earlier. She just ends it like she had no idea what to do next or what to write next. The novel just ends. It's basically what I'm saying. It just ends in such an unsatisfactory way, because I have read open endings before. They're good when they're used good, but Emma Cline does not know how to do a good fucking ending. Anyways, that's my bone pick. I'm not sure what I'm gonna read next now, but I do want to tackle my physical TBR. It's insane, and I recently bought a couple books, so it's big. The TBR is growing, and it's growing at a steady pace. But yeah, I'll come back in a couple hours and choose my next read with you guys. I ordered a little feast for myself. I got a Philadelphia roll. I got some french fries. I was craving french fries, and then I said, let me order something else. So obviously I ordered sushi. And then I got some pan-fried pork dumplings. And I'm about to put on an episode of Hell's Kitchen. This is my show to eat. Like, I always put this on when I'm gonna eat. It's about 10:30 right now. It's been a couple hours since I last talked to you guys and since I last read. Sorry for the annoying noises. I'm playing with my kitten. Random life update in this reading vlog. But I have a new kitten. His name is Junie. But for tonight, I picked out Black Swan by Eve Babitz. I literally have no idea what this book is about. Actually, I bought it so long ago, and it's kind of embarrassing that I've not read any Eve Babitz yet, just because she is such a prolific writer. Reading Eve Babitz for the first time. I also got Sex and Rage by her on my TBR, but this one is, oh, it's a collection of 9 stories that look back on the 1980s and early 1990s. Decades of dreams, drink, and glimpses of a changing world. So it's a short story collection. Interesting. I'm excited, actually. Excited about reading Eve Babitz for the first time. So, yeah, let's get to reading. Junie, stop. Junie. It's been an hour-ish, and I'm on page 53 of Black Swans by Eve Babitz, and I'm loving it, actually. Like, I'm really liking Babitz's voice and writing style. From my understanding, this is non-fiction. 9 stories of her life during Los Angeles in the 1980s to the 1990s, and she's hilarious. I'm just laughing out loud by her observations. My favorite of the short stories so far was Free Tibet, about this guy named Brian that she meets. He's a gay man, and he dies of AIDS eventually. At the same time that he was dying, Babitz was into this relationship that was kind of toxic, tumultuous. It wasn't serving her very well, but it isolated her from like friends and family. And so while she was isolated, her friend Brian was dying of AIDS, and she finds out during a Christmas party, and she's just completely shocked, and she can't forgive herself for like completely forgetting about him. And that just, I don't know, the way she wrote it, it touched my heart. So that was my favorite of the short stories so far. But yeah, really loving this. I'm gonna drink my coffee and keep reading. This is how my morning's gonna go. Literally could not ask for anything better. I love mornings like this. Best thing in the world. So yeah, love Babitz. been a while. The last time I talked to you guys was on Thursday. Not much has happened besides me finishing 2 books. So on Friday morning, I finished Black Swan by Eve Babitz. Like you guys already know, I absolutely adore this one. 9 short stories from Eve Babitz's life during the 80s and the 90s in LA. It's basically talking about the people that she encounters, experiences that she had. It also has some counts of the LA riots and other movements in LA. We see it from a very privileged point of view because she is a white, rich woman. But the book is not to be political at all. Eve Babitz is literally so hilarious. I had a really fun time. I really enjoyed this one. I really liked Eve Babitz's voice and observations. I found them very beautiful, and I actually highlighted a couple passages. It's rare. I barely highlight books, honestly. I like to do it. I have nothing against people who highlight their books or tab the books. It's too much for me to do when I'm reading. It takes me out of reading sometimes. When a book comes along that makes me want to stop and slow down and annotate the book, I really appreciate it. I really loved Black Swans by Eve Babitz. On Friday, I did some errands. I went to the gym, I did this and that. So while I was doing those type of errands, I was listening to The School for Good Mothers on audiobook. This one is about Frida, who one day she leaves her kid unattended for over 2 hours at her house. Her explanation was that she was not thinking straight, she was sleep deprived, and she just wanted a break from her screaming toddler. Valid, to be honest. I can't stand being in a room and then there's a fucking baby crying. This neighbor of hers reports her to CPS, but that entails that she loses custody of her kid, and the judge sentenced her to go to this institutional facility where mothers like herself go to learn to be a better mother. Basically, some women in that facility were there because, for example, they let their kid walk two blocks from their school to their house. One mother was there because she let her son play in their backyard by himself. So it's kind of like a look into how society holds mothers to this impossibly high standard for them to be always perfect. There's subjects of such high scrutiny in society. I say this because in comparison, in the novel, there's also a similar institution for fathers, but in one part where the fathers and the mothers mingle together, we get a look into how the fathers' institutions is, and they're treated much better. Their program is less rigorous. Just it has that contrast between how mothers are supposed to be perfect and give up everything for their child, while fathers are held to a lesser standard. So I really like that concept. I did enjoy this one, but I did find it kind of repetitive. The audiobook was over 8 hours long. I was listening to it on fast speed, like 1.2, 1.6 sometimes, just because it was repetitive and so long, and the reader was actually pretty slow. But I did enjoy it. It was nice to like have something in the background. It was kind of funny because sometimes there'll be some fucked up shit that happen. I'll be like, well, I'm just like grocery shopping or I'm at the gym. So yeah, I really did enjoy these 2 books. Black Swan's obviously, I think, my favorite of the month. Now, I'm not sure when to end this vlog. I do want to read more. I think I am gonna vlog one more book just because today I'm gonna have kind of a bookish day. I'm going to go to a cafe. Not sure which one yet, just because the one I wanted to go to closes at 2 p.m. and it's like 1:40 right now. I did want to go to a cafe so I could take a picture of this book that I read earlier this week so I can post it on my Instagram. Follow my Instagram, by the way, if you haven't. But yeah, so I did want to vlog my little bookish afternoon. So I'm gonna figure out what cafe to go to, and I need to figure out what book I want to pick up. Yeah, let's go. Good morning, guys. It is Sunday morning, and I got just a little update for you guys. I'm 58 pages in, and so far the story setting is still setting up. Like, I find it kind of slow. Sometimes this type of literary books is kind of slow in the first couple pages, so that's fine. We're still getting a feel of who the characters are. This book goes back and forth between 3 different points of views. All these 3 women, even though they live in 3 different decades or centuries, they're still connected. I'm not sure how they're connected just yet. Blurb says they're connected by the men who seek to control them. Right now, the book focuses a lot on Ruth, and who lives in this big house, this mansion by herself. Well, she's with her husband and her kids, but later on we learn that she lived in that mansion by herself. And I'm guessing the house is a little bit haunted. She hears noises and things slamming when she's by herself there. That's my little update for today. Another day, another poppy drink, another book updates. So I actually finished The Bass Rock this morning, and I did not like it. This book is actually kind of hard to explain just because this book is just confusing, but basically it follows 3 women across like different centuries. The first woman is Sarah. She is accused of being a witch, and so she goes on the run with this family. And then the second woman is this married woman who marries this World War II soldier. Lives in this mansion, and for some reason the mansion is haunted. And I think I shared like a theory that I thought that the witch girly, like Sarah, was the one who was haunting the mansion. The ghost girl has nothing to do with the other any other woman. It adds nothing to the story. Like, I don't know why she's there. Anyways, the third woman, Vivian, she is connected to Ruth actually because she is a distant relative. The author wanted to connect these very different women. The concept that they all had a violent act committed to them by the hands of a man, but they don't really connect. Besides Ruth and Vivian, they the three women don't connect at all. Sarah, to me, sounded like the most interesting person, but we barely get to know her. We barely get any time with her. It switches from point of view so quickly and so dramatically that sometimes I'm confused and I have to like go back and try to figure out who are we reading about. Besides that, none of the characters were any interesting, honestly. I didn't really care about any of them. I don't even get to know any of them too much. I literally don't even remember, and I just finished reading this book. That's how I feel about this book. Like, I don't even remember anything, and I just finished this book. Yeah, what else can I say about this novel? It was just underwhelming. Also, something that was just weird and kind of seemed like torture porn, because it was just flung in the novel with no explanation, no reason to. It didn't add anything to the novel. Was the fact that she also adds this POVs of random girls who are not any of the three main girls. They're just random characters who also have had something violently traumatic happen to them. Like, you get POVs of them being raped. Literally, the last page is of this woman in a toxic relationship, and she finally leaves the guy because he broke her finger. These little POVs have nothing to do with any of the other three main characters, so I don't know why they're there. I don't know why they're there. Makes no sense. It just feels like torture porn. That's my 2 cents on The Bass Rock by Evie Wild. I'll take my opinion with a grain of salt because this won an award. But literary critics have read this and enjoyed it to a point to give it an award. And I'm trashing this novel. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what I thought about The Bass Rock. I'll end the vlog here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely want to do more videos like this, so let me know if you like them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and hearing me rant about books and talk about books. I love talking about books. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books. Bye.